All right, we're all set.
I'd like to bring this meeting to order, February 17th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Here.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Here.
Commissioner Ranello?
Present.
Commissioner Casabun?
Here.
Mayor Dixon?
Here. Please rise and join me with salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing. Sam Rempel from Cumberland County Community Church within the invocation.
Pray with me. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together. We come to you with humility, with gratitude, acknowledging that there is no authority except from you, Lord. We thank you for the commissioners here, for every person who serves our community. Lord, your word says if any lacks wisdom, let him ask, and it will be given. So we ask today for wisdom that is clear, courageous, and compassionate. Lord, guide every discussion and decision. Help our leaders to, as Micah tells us, to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with the Lord. Give them discernment to pursue what is right, strength to do what is difficult, and unity to do what is best. Father, your scripture tells us that blessed are the peacemakers, and we pray for peace in our neighborhoods, for our homes, and every conversation that may take place this evening. We continue to pray for protection over our city, over our first responders, our schools, all those involved in that, businesses, Lord, and families. We ask that what is decided, what is discussed this evening would lead to the good of all. We entrust this meeting to you, Lord. May your favor rest upon Millville, and may integrity and truth guide us. In your great, holy, precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Public comment on agenda items only. Just a second. We have now reached the public comment portion for agenda items only. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Angelica Hanstein from 2319 East Main Street in Millville. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I wanted to speak regarding the residential poultry ordinance and some clarification for that as well. It's not just a personal concern of mine. 2 weeks ago, I spoke at the zoning meeting, and I had a petition going to the public that had, I'm sorry.
This is not an agenda item. You'll have to wait till the public comment portion at the end.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My
A lot of people
apologies.
get that wrong. It's not a big deal. This is just for agenda items only. I'm sorry.
Hello, City Council. Victor Faust, Millville. I came here and spoke a couple weeks ago when you guys got sworn in. Just had a quick little tidbit on one of the agenda items. I noticed that we are looking to hire a city engineer for a total of $200,000. Just a couple concerns. One, is this going to affect property taxes for this year and the coming years? Two, I noticed that the person that is considering to being hired, a John Newt, was previously a city engineer. Now, I don't have all the data on hand about that, but from speaking to people and looking a little bit online, obviously there's been some concerns from the community at large. I guess back in the day, he's been rumored to potentially, engage in not so great activities, maybe drinking, bribery, things of that nature.
I'm going to call that out of order.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
Personal attacks
And I'm
are
perfectly
not
fine
gonna
with
be
that.
tolerated.
My main concern is, I guess, yeah, it really wasn't. That's why I said allegedly. But why, I guess, are we hiring somebody that has already been a city engineer and then bringing them back after all these years, and for the tune of what the salary of the governor is? And that ties into my question about property taxes, because my taxes since moving here have gone up incrementally every quarter. I think they were below a certain amount, and now we've gone up probably a couple $100 every quarter or so. So that's just my main concern about that. I mean, I understand the need for a city engineer and whatnot, but to the tune of $200,000, I mean, seems like an awful amount of money, especially since, again, the same price range is what the governor's getting paid. And that's pretty much it. No answer on that or anything, or are we just waiting for that later on, or?
We'll address it.
All right, no problem.
Hi, my name is Adele Faust, also live in Millville. I also wanted to talk about our future city engineer. I have some concerns as he has been listed as a paid consultant and/or employee of Northeast Precast, who is the builders of the golf course and the data center around the corner. We have heard publicly from you guys at your first meeting last month that there would be no data center in Millville. Believe you meant it when you said that, but the city engineer, I am told, I have read, I could be wrong, has power to divert our water to another municipality in cases of emergency. Vineland is going to be in an emergency situation because of that data center with their water. I'm very concerned that the city engineer that we're hiring has paid ties to that company. I don't think that that is something the people of Millville would be happy about. It's definitely something I'm not happy about. I have serious concerns that even if we are not going to get a data center, that our resources are going to be allocated to it. I would really like to prevent that from happening. Thank you.
Seeing no one else at the podium, we'll close the public comments on agenda items only. Madam Clerk, do we have any presentations?
Yes, we have a 2026 Millville Public Library presentation with Courtney Reese, the library director.
Good evening, Commissioners. Good evening, people who are interested in the city of Millville in whatever various capacities. My name is Courtney Reese. I'm the director of the Millville Public Library, and I am here to talk about the library and about one of the things that makes the library strong is the partnerships that we build. And to that end, I'm going to ask Ms. Dillon if she'll come up and help me start with a video to explain one of the partnerships we have with the high school.
Right in the heart of our community, something new is unfolding, and it starts the moment you walk through the new entrance of the Millville Public Library. Step inside and discover a space designed for everyone. In the teen room, imagination meets independence. Whether it's studying with friends, diving into a good book, or exploring new ideas, this is their space to grow, connect, and create. Next up, the Lego Room, a hands-on world where creativity clicks together one brick at a time. From beginner builders to future engineers, this is where ideas come alive. And when it's time to gather, the family room offers a welcoming space for clubs, conversations, celebrations, and learning together because the community happens here. Millville Public Library. More than books, it's a doorway to connection, creativity, and community.
Thank you for that applause. It all belongs to the Millville High School Drama Club and the Video Club and their advisors. They did a really wonderful job there. They reached out to us and we came up with a project that we could work on together. So I have passed out, and maybe some of you picked up a little booklet that looks like this. The only thing I want to say about this booklet in the beginning is that as you go through the booklet, remember there are, according to the census, 28,000 people who live in the city of Millville. And that is the framework you should look at all of these statistics through, truthfully. I'm not going to read all these statistics to you. I'm sure all of you can do that all by yourself. There's a lot going on. But what I want to talk about is this little tiny corner right up here. So one of the things that they said in that video is that the Millville Library is more than books. And yes, when you think of the library, you think of the traditional literacy. You think of checking books in, checking books out, that kind of thing. We do story times. We do play times with kids. We do book clubs and poetry workshops and those kinds of things that all are examples of traditional literacy. But one of the shining stars that we have at the Millville Public Library is an instructor who will help you get your high school diploma. So it's free of charge. I write grants every year to keep these high school students getting those diplomas. And she has helped people from the age of 16, not really a heavy lift, to age 80. She helped an 80-year-old woman achieve her lifelong dream of getting her high school diploma. Awesome, right? She's fabulous. She's fabulous. And one of the ways that she does this is she connects her students with technology. We, as part of our grant, get laptops for the students to use and study. We can track their progress. They can take their tests. And it's a lot. We, of course, offer free Wi-Fi. We have the public computers. And this is, you might not think of this as really a technology thing, but one of the things that we do is we help people print things out. They come into us, I need my pay stub, I need my insurance card, I need to get a copy of this for so-and-so. So they can print from their phones, they can print from our computers, then they can make copies of things, they can fax them to the various places they need to go. I know you may not think in this room that in this day and age people really do fax, but they fax all the time. All the time. And then we have a notary, which doesn't have anything to do with technology, but he's busy almost every single day as well. So, but again, the shining star of our technology department, truthfully, is our computer instructor. He's an Army vet. He is so patient and so kind, and he will go over things with people multiple times until they get it. And he's really fabulous. And this last year, well, it's going to be this year now in 2026, part of the grant that I wrote was to get Samsung tablets and iPads so that we can start teaching people to use those devices, because laptops and desktops, they're very expensive, and you can take that little tablet with you wherever you need to go. So we're going to start expanding our computer offering computer classes to those kinds of offerings. And what about health literacy? We're all concerned about our health. It's a big thing now. And we give out nutrition kits for the different families. We have families that sign up. We have elderly people who sign up. They come to us and they say, can I get a nutrition kit? And we'll say yes. And they say, can I get one for my next door neighbor too? She can't leave the house. And of course, we say yes to that too. Rowan College did a technology health combination called Golden Bites this last year at the library. From June to November, they came and they taught people, you had to be 60 or older, how to use a smartwatch. Lots of doctors now are asking people, get yourself a smartwatch. I want to track all your health data through that. And so they taught people how to use those. They taught people how to use Instacart or to order groceries online and have them delivered from ShopRite or wherever they wanted to have that done. And just, it was a really wonderful integration of health and technology for us. And we were really proud to be a partner with Rowan. We were one of 2 libraries. Only 2 libraries were asked to participate in that program, and we were one of them. And then finally, I also want to talk, well, not finally, but I also want to talk about civic literacy. Civic literacy is one of the things that we try to open our library up to. Some of you may have come to Chat and Chew, which the Holly City Development Corporation put on, especially leading up to the election. I'm pretty sure I saw 1 or 2 of you coming to those Chat and Chews. And we open our doors up to all kinds of people. The Democratic, young Democrats come. We're a polling site. So in June and November, we're a polling site for the city as well, helping people to do their civic duty. And then I will say, finally, I'm talking about financial literacy. Why are people coming to the library right now? They want those tax forms. And we help them. If we have them ourselves, we hand them out. If they need a special tax form, we'll print them out for them. We'll help them find them. And then, of course, after they filled everything out, they can copy it, fax things to their CPA, whatever they need to do. Bay Atlantic and the Bar Association in this last year have all come to our library and put on programs about what living wills, trusts, how to manage your Social Security and Medicare. They've been great. Those classes have been packed, and people are asking us to get them to come back and do more. Atlantic City Electric and South Jersey Gas have both come out to help people understand how to manage their utility costs. So that's another small piece of what we can do to help people be more financially literate. So many things that we do. I'm not sure whether all of you in this room were aware of all the things that we do and how we can help you. There's a lot more that I could have talked about, but I know I'm supposed to be on a little bit of a time crunch here. But I really appreciate your time and your attention, and I invite anyone in this room to come and visit us at the Millville Public Library.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we'll move on to the bills.
Yes, we need a motion to approve the bill list.
Make a motion.
Second the motion?
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kopp?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes. Petitions and letters?
There are none, Mayor.
All right, reports of commissioners. Let's start with Commissioner Sherman. Taylor.
I have the fire and EMS reports for January. Police Department had 3,101 calls. The EMS had 669 calls for January.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Ranello.
First, I want to discuss some of our upcoming events. This Saturday, our annual Snowflake Plunge takes place at noon at Union Lake Beach. We encourage everyone to come out and support our friends as they raise money for Shirley Eves. We also have our spring coloring contest. You can obtain a copy of the coloring page on our city website, Facebook, or the Recreation Office. The deadline for entering the contest is March 13th, and winners will receive a prize, and their artwork will be featured on the Millville Recreation Facebook group. Several people have reached out and asked about donating plastic Easter eggs and candy. Yes, we are accepting donations for our Easter egg hunt in March. Items can be dropped off at 202 South Wade Boulevard. We're truly appreciative to everyone who takes the time to contribute, so thank you. Now, some department updates and some meetings that have taken place. I apologize in advance. This is going to be a little lengthy. The Parks Department has spent the past 3 weeks clearing tree limbs and debris from all city-owned property following the storm. So we want to thank everyone in the parks for your ongoing hard work and dedication. Last Tuesday, I attended the bi-weekly construction meeting at the Sewer Department, and I took the opportunity to take a pretty thorough tour. I got to see firsthand just how hard the men and women there work to keep everything running smoothly. It's very eye-opening. They truly don't get enough recognition for what they do. So I want to say thank you to Sal and everyone in the Sewer Department for all your hard work and for keeping things running day and night. A few hours after that meeting at the Sewer Department, Vice Mayor Cott and I met at the Trinity First Hope Center with several organizations from across the county. These groups are doing important work to support unhoused residents and those at risk of losing their housing. This wasn't a one-and-done meeting for Vice Mayor and myself. We're committed to coordinating, learning about resources, understanding some barriers, and participating in future discussions to help find some lasting solutions. Last Thursday evening, I met with local artists, the Millville Historical Society, and the Wildflower Vegan Cafe on High Street for a High Street collaborative gathering. It was a positive, energetic, really cool meeting focused on fostering relationships, community engagement, and with a focus on strengthening our local economy. I want to emphasize something. Our small businesses really, really need us. While some storefronts sit vacant, many others, run by families that are working very, very hard, they need our support. And if we want our business community to thrive, we need to shop local. So I'm asking everybody to support our neighbors and friends so that they can continue to grow in our community. I also want to give an update from our January 20th meeting. Last month, I shared that 119 streetlights were out across the city. This past Friday, the mayor and I met with our representative from Atlantic City Electric, and I'm happy to report that more than half of those lights have already been restored. And work is continuing on the remaining streetlights. We were also made aware of programs available through Atlantic City Electric that may benefit our residents. I heard Ms. Reese mention Atlantic City Electric. So we're hoping to have a representative from ACE present that information to the public very soon. When we get those details together, we'll make sure that the public knows when and where that'll take place. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Been busy.
Commissioner Cossabon.
Just a brief, now that the sun is out and ice has melted off the roads, but now we have potholes. So we're aware of the potholes. Our Streets and Roads is out fixing them. If you know any potholes, please contact us at 825-7000, extension 7388. Christmas trees, if you still have them, you can put them out to the curb until the end of February. Loose leaf collection in April. You can start putting those loose leaves to the curb the last 2 weeks of March for the April collection. As of today, the street sweeper is back up and running. Be aware, tickets will be issued. If anyone has any other questions or concerns, please feel free to give us a call at 825-7000, extension 7388. And again, thank you to those Streets and Roads, Sewer Department, Water Department, EMS, Fire, Police, during that storm. They all worked so hard, and they were working hours upon hours to get those roads cleared, and finally they're done. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cossabon. Vice Mayor Cott.
I'd just like to reiterate what Commissioner Ranello said. That was a very eye-opening first meeting. We got to learn a lot about different organizations throughout the county that help the unhoused, addiction and mental illness out there. And it was, we learned a lot. And for a first meeting, we're looking forward to many more, looking forward to getting anybody involved in Cumberland County that feels like they can offer any help to us. We would greatly appreciate it. We're working on things as streamlining our fleet. We're working on different things to make that a little bit more budget friendly and upgrade and just do some things to our fleet long term. We're busy filling vacant spots that have been left vacant but budgeted for a long time and just trying to backfill some spots and get caught up. And then I also like to make a motion to receive and file the tax collector's report for the month of January.
Second motion. Sorry.
Hey, turn the page.
Good catch.
Didn't turn the page.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes. All right. First, I want to commend our permitting and inspections personnel. They're now up to 22 violations for unpermitted work in the city. It's something that we really focused on last month when I came in. I said I really want to focus on that because I think people, developers come and contractors come to the city and they try to get around the system. So we're up to 22 now that we found violations. So that's great news on that one. We're having a criminal nuisance property ordinance reviewed by council. You should see that in the next meeting or two. Looking forward to getting that on the books and starting to really take a look at the properties that are requiring more of, with Commissioner Taylor, properties that are requiring more and more of our police services. Abandoned properties are being narrowed down to about 5 properties. You should see something very shortly. The process is being streamlined to get those properties demolished, and that's all done with grant money. So that's going to happen shortly. Abandoned properties are a nuisance to the community. That's where a lot of, illegal activity happens. It's where drug trade happens. It's just something that the more abandoned properties that we can demolish, usually the better off the city is. The police are very happy when that happens. I want to say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. Last Wednesday, we had the State of the City address. It's very heartening to see the positivity by the business community in this city. Everyone's very positive, and they're looking forward to the economic development that is happening in the city. I'm very encouraged by how much the Chamber of Commerce and the business community wants to support the city, and we in turn want to support them. One last thing, economic development is moving forward very well. Every day, we probably get 3 to 5 new calls for somebody looking to start projects here. Mr. Couchy, our Economic Development Director, has his hands full. I don't know how he does everything he does, but it's an amazing amount of work he's doing, and I'm happy that he's as busy as he is. And the camera project for High Street, Mr. Commissioner Taylor and I have been working on that, and we are making progress on that. I'd just like to say, I don't like to stay silent on things sometimes. So I want to let you know what we're working on, directions we're heading. So we're going to have a bunch of phases that camera project is going to roll out on, and we're working hand in hand to make sure that happens. So very excited about that, and that's all I have for my report.
You stole my thunder.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Actually, something else too. I forgot to make a motion to receive and file the police and EMS reports.
Second.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes. All right, let's move on to regular business.
Ordinances for second reading. Ordinance for second reading, item number 1, an ordinance amending the salary ordinance. And there is a public hearing on that tonight as well.
I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
Do we have to have a public hearing first?
I would just have it before you vote.
All right. If anybody would like to come to the podium and speak on that issue, please come to the podium now. Seeing no one at the podium, I will close comments. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
There are no ordinances in the first reading. On to resolutions. Resolution item number 1, resolution awarding a non-fair and open contract for municipal engineer John Newt.
I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
I will talk on this because Mr. Nuke is in my department, and I will address some of the comments that have been made. Our previous engineer, our previous engineer, our city engineer, was Wayne Johnson. Wayne Johnson resigned. So he was earning $200,000 a year at $135 an hour. Mr. Newt replaces our city engineer, at the same, not to exceed, but at $110 an hour. So it's actually, there's no increase to taxes, there's no increase to, our costs. It's exactly the same as what it was before. The one thing that it won't tolerate is people coming up to the podium and personally attacking people. It's not going to happen in this chamber, and I'm not going to tolerate it. So I'm going to say that right off the bat. Everybody has a past, everybody has a history, and no one's going to come to that podium and say negative things toward people, what happened 20, 30, 40 years ago, and it's not going to be tolerated in this chambers. As far as data centers go, Mr. Knoop worked for the city for, I believe it was 19 years, and then he went to the county for 5 years? 7 with the county. And, oh, I'm sorry, 24 with the city? Okay. And then you went to, you were with Northeast Precast for 4.5 years. It took a lot to get Mr. Knoop to come back to the city. It wasn't like he was knocking our door to come back. I reached out to Mr. Knoop. Actually, someone from the city reached out to him, and I have heard such good things about Mr. Knoop. I've probably talked to 30 people about Mr. Knoop, and I can't find one person, Mr. Knoop, that doesn't love you. So welcome aboard. I'm real happy to have you, and I am not concerned about your loyalties. I know 24 years with the city, you've come back to your first love, and we're welcome to have you. Very happy to have you here. Welcome aboard. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd just like to say too, I worked with John. I was in traffic for a while, worked with him doing that, just in the city for a long time. Always did well for the city, always had the city first. So I'm excited. I think he brings stability and
Institutional knowledge.
institutional knowledge that we need right now.
Yeah.
Definitely institutional knowledge. He's had a lot of years, he's got a lot of history with the city of Millville, so we're looking forward to working with him. Thank you.
And I'll just say, I'm no engineer, but I'm not sure, I think with the data centers, people were having problems with their personal wells going dry. I'm not sure how you divert city water to a personal well. Maybe you can enlighten me, Mr. Knoop, later, but I don't know how that works. But, I'm not an engineer, so that's why Mr. Knoop's here, because he's the expert. So, would anybody like to have a roll call here?
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes,
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution item number 2, resolution appointing an alternate member to the zoning board, DeAndre Heath.
Make a motion?
I second that emotion.
Isn't that a song?
I think that is the song.
I'd just like to say how much that made us all smile about your being cheerful for that. And
Thank you.
thanks, Mr. Heath, for filling that spot. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I interviewed him, and he's a person going to do a great job. He cares for the city, and excited for him to start. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes,
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution item number 3, resolution awarding a non-fair and open contract for municipal court interpreter.
So the court needs an interpreter for our Spanish clients that come in. And I believe we're just renewing his contract, correct? Yes. So I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution item number 4, resolution approving licensed towing operator application for rock towing.
Rock Towing is one of our longstanding tow companies that we use for impounds and towing for the city. And they do a great job, and we're renewing the contract. I'd like to make a motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes,
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution item number 5, resolution authorizing tax and utility adjustments.
Like to make a motion?
Second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
yes,
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution item number 6, resolution authorizing the City of Millville to award a non-fair and open contract to Edmunds GovTech, Inc. for financial software hosting and support services.
Like to make a motion?
I'll second the motion.
Yes, if this is just our annual contract, we're renewing for our software that we use for payroll, along with a lot of other things throughout the city of Millville.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 7, resolution approving participation with the State of New Jersey in a Safe and Secure Communities Program administered by the New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety Office of the Attorney General.
Okay, this is a grant that we have applied for. The way the resolution is written kind of makes it look like the numbers are mistaken, but they're not. It's the way the resolution is written is the way that the agency needs the information in there. I'd like to make a motion to accept it.
I'll second it.
Roll call,
So,
please.
well, just to explain a little bit more, this is not a matching grant. So this is a grant for, I think, 65,000.
Yes.
But they require so much salary based off that, so it's just replacing salary, replenishing salary for the officers that are doing certain things that are required by the grant. So there's no matching funds, but we have to show that there's salary for those officers doing it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 8, resolution to amend Resolution 233-2025 for an additional $27,742 required for final fire truck repairs.
Okay, this is to finish the repairs on the tower, which is back and in service, which is great news. I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 9, resolution authorizing interlocal services between the City of Millville and the County of Cumberland Office of Aging and Disabled with regard to the Meals on Wheels program.
Make a motion?
Second it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes. Madam Clerk, is there any new business?
There is none, Mayor.
All right, we have now reached the public comment portion of the meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Hello again. So my name is Angelica Hanstein, 2319 East Main Street, Millville. Thank you all again for the opportunity to speak today. I would like to speak regarding the residential poultry ordinance and some clarification. It's not just a personal concern of mine. 2 weeks ago, I spoke at the zoning meeting. At that time, my petition that I had started with the public had 290 supporters after just 4 days of starting. It has now grown to around 350 supporters with many local residents. Several community members have also reached out to me since going public with the petition, just reaching out, kind of giving support. You know, they have similar lot sizes, some even smaller, and they also keep their small flocks. Some residents have also reached out saying that they face similar zoning issues with theirs, although they had small amounts on a decent-sized plot and were forced to rehome. Some even said that they relocated due to having to get rid of their chickens. So these stories just kind of demonstrate that it is possible to have them on smaller lots and the importance of the fair ordinance interpretation. The ordinances that were cited against my personal property were 30-203, which is the home animal agriculture, and 30-117.4, which is medium residential. While we are very committed to compliance, I respectfully note that these ordinances may not be interpreted consistently or as intended, and review for some clarity of expectations to ensure fair applications for all residents would be appreciated. Based on those ordinances, we have 11 hens, and the ordinance requires 4 square foot per hen for their coop. We have 48 square foot, so we're over that. The run, which is where the chickens kind of play, the ordinance requires 4 square foot. We have 112 to 128 square feet for them. Plus, we have an 8-foot roof, which protects the birds and helps with drainage in case smell was an issue. Our birds are consistently fully contained. Similar to like a no-leash law, you kind of have your birds in their coop, in their run, more so. just not allowing free-range chickens to just fly all over our town. The ordinance also says that there has to be 25 feet between the chickens and our nearest neighbors, which we are in compliance with, and for reference, we have about a half acre. So one of the big things that people are worried about is like sanitation, odor, rodents, vermin, all those type of things. So sand has been our best friend. It dries quickly, drains well. It helps because you could just scoop it clean if it does get messy, but from where it doesn't sit wet, you don't have those odor issues. And reducing odor is like the biggest thing. You don't want to upset any neighbors. You don't want to smell it yourself. The sand also acts as a temperature barrier, so it doesn't get too hot to burn the chickens during the summer. It also stays warm enough during the winter, though, to their feet don't freeze to it. So it's just an all-around win there. We also use lime that you sprinkle around. It's very pet-friendly, plant-friendly. If you have a garden, it doesn't have any type of chemicals. That helps to keep away mites, fleas, other nuisance like that. And then, the chickens themselves don't actually bring on vermin and rodents. It's the food, particularly. So as long as the food is well secured, similar to our bird feeder ordinances that we already have in place and trash ordinances, keeping your lids on and things of that nature, it's not too big of an issue. So I don't understand the ordinance a little bit clearer. From what I read, it was 32 per acre. It doesn't specifically say you can't have any for less, so because we had half, we went with half of that. Just so if we get some more clarity as to if people with smaller lots like myself are able to have a certain amount. Obviously not jamming 25 and a half acre or quarter acre, but if we could have, like 6, 10, smaller, reasonable things. It's been becoming a community outreach at this point. I'm happy to, provide any answers to any questions about practices of what we do to help with smell or animals or anything like that, just to ease concern, for sake of time. I don't want to go too far into it unless it is a big question. So I just really want to find a way to work collaboratively to find a solution that balances, the public health part of it, the neighborhood quality of life, the administrative part, and just community interest. So thank you guys for your time and for listening and any consideration that comes of it. And I'm happy to answer any questions at any time that anybody has.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lynn Parecka, Millville. This commission's fallen into a pattern of blaming their problems on the last 4 years. Millville is where it is not because of the last 4 years, but years of being reactive instead of proactive. When you blame the last commission for how Millville is, you're also blaming Commissioner Ranello and Commissioner Casabun, as they were both in office and voted how the city should proceed. You're also blaming the employees, as it's employees' job to talk to the commissioners and inform them of any issues within their departments, and then to implement a plan to fix it. So these are just a few of the initiatives that the last commission did. In the last 4 years, the commissioners and the staff were able to improve the finances of the city to give you over a $7 million nest egg. $7 million that you're spending on hiring and not improving the city or taking the burden off the taxpayers. In addition, in the last 4 years, programs were set up to loan businesses money through the UEZ funds, no cost to the taxpayer. Plans are made for Nab Avenue extension to aid the development of the airport industrial park. Nothing had been done on that Nab Avenue extension for years. The owners of the strategic properties involved were contacted. Plans were agreed to. It was a simplified plan, unlike the convoluted, expensive county plan. A business agreement was also reached with a warehouse developer at the Millville Airport to include a revenue allocation bond to pay for the city's Nab Avenue design. Again, saving the taxpayer. Employers were contacted and asked what skills their workforces needed so their businesses could expand and be successful. The city then contacted the college, and we're working on programs that could help companies get the qualified employees that they need. NIPRA was part of this, and they have plans to expand their workforce. Meetings were held with the Small Business Association out of Rutgers University, and plans were in place for the SBA to come to Millville and counsel new and potential businesses, to work out a business plan, to educate potential businesses on available funding, and to help them to be successful. This was a free program. The majority of the property at the airport industrial plant is now under contract, and new land was being looked at to expand the industrial park. This industrial park had sat vacant for approximately 25 years. When the contracts close, there'll be over $10 million that will be added to the city's revenue. Work was done on reducing the historical district at the airport, which has hindered redevelopment and jobs at the airport. This was done in conjunction with the DRBA and the Millville Airport Army Museum. Money was also found for walking patrols, and a shared service agreement was set up with the Sheriff's Department and to improve public safety for the citizens. Again, no tax burden. Upgrades were made to the sewer plant. They were started and are still in progress. Also, the gas and the electric services to the airport were looked at, and they were insufficient. That hindered redevelopment at the airport. These were all upgraded. Plans were begun to run city water to Laurel Lake using revenue allocation bonds, so again, to lessen the burden on the taxpayer. Roads were paved in Laurel Lake that had long been neglected. UEZ funds were allotted for the paving of Buck Street and improvements to Buck Park. Meetings were reinstated with department heads, along with programs to improve the procedures and policies of the city. A dress code was implemented to create a professional atmosphere in the city. So significant groundwork has been set for this commission to succeed by the previous commissioners and staff. So far, it appears that you have chosen to place blame, spend taxpayer money recklessly, and not appreciate all the initiatives that were given to you. You are taking advice from the very same reactive individuals and politicians that caused Millville to be where we are today. As you move forward, I trust that you will continue the important initiatives that were started for you. And I just have one final comment, which just is a personal pet peeve of mine. The State of the Millville address was given at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and the fee was $45 to go there. I know that several of the employees went to the event, and the city paid for that out of taxpayers' money. Wouldn't it be better if the event was held for free at a venue like Lakeside so that all the public could go there and hear what is going on firsthand and get to ask questions? I realize that the speech may be online, but not everyone has a computer, the internet, or they might just prefer to see things in person. By charging the fee, it is not an inclusive event. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Worthington. A month ago, I came here and asked for an update on the lawsuit where both the city and a former commissioner are being sued in federal court for what the developer is charged as deliberate fraud, claiming they were duped by the commissioner and the city. Whether they were duped or just greedy and foolish is now literally for the courts to decide. What is certain is the taxpayers were duped by the commissioner, who said right in this room at a public meeting that there are no plans for an asphalt plant on that site, when the sworn court documents clearly show he was working with the developer to bring the very plans he denied. Since then, the voters unequivocally said they were tired of the backroom deals and the way the city was being run. Since then, I've been telling people that it seems there was a breath of fresh air in Millville with this new commission. Now, I'm sorry to be here wondering if I spoke too soon. It's been a month since I asked for that update. I was told by the new solicitor, who, to be fair, was just officially appointed at that meeting, that he did not have the information but would get it to me within a few days. I was also told by members of the commission that they would get back to me on the matter. I've heard nothing. This is a huge issue that could see the courts ordering the city to allow an asphalt and concrete crushing plant on a piece of environmentally sensitive land adjacent to hundreds of homes, right on a lake, about the worst place you could find to put it. All because public business was done in private, in the dark, hidden from the public's view and input. I'm still trying to cling to my hope for change, so I'm asking again for an update and for assurances that the city is working to stop this disaster and is committed to ensuring that public business is conducted in the public's view. Thank you.
Mr. Worthington, thank you. Before we go any further with any more public comments, I'll address your concerns to the best I can. When I was here a month ago, I had literally just been sworn in when you rose to the podium to ask your questions. And I think I told you back then I could talk to you freely without being concerned at all about giving any attorney-client information because I knew nothing about it. That has changed. I can give you an update as to where that litigation sits today. Right about the time that I got sworn in, there was a motion to dismiss the city's claims, to dismiss the developer's claims against the city. It was filed in federal court. To give you a little bit of background, I'm not sure how much you need, but for the benefit of you and anyone else that's here that needs a little background, I'll give it to you. Originally, the lawsuit was filed in state court. It was then dismissed without prejudice so that the plaintiff, the developer, could file in federal court to bring additional federal court claims. There was a motion to dismiss on all of the counts that was brought in federal court. Forgive me, I don't have the exact day that the motion was heard, but it was heard, I believe, the Friday after you had rose to the podium to ask your questions. The result of the motion was this. The federal judge dismissed without prejudice all of the state court claims against the city. Now, what that means is that for the moment, they're not pending, but they potentially could be brought back later. The judge denied at this time all of the federal court claims that were brought and has ordered the parties to engage in settlement discussions at this time. To my understanding, there has been no discovery, no formal information that has been exchanged at this time. And the order for settlement discussions is not, it's in the judge's discretion, and it's not all that uncommon, particularly at this early stage before the parties engage in substantial discovery costs. I hope that's the best I can do for you. That's the best information that I have at this point. Thank you.
Good evening, Angeline Broomhall, Millville. I wasn't planning on speaking tonight, but since I'm here, I have a fancy pen and I can pose for my next cartoon, right? Okay, anyway. You had mentioned the nuisance property ordinance that you're working on. Now, I'm a big proponent of the fifth floor and holding people accountable. I'm vehemently opposed to a nuisance property ordinance. We had one. It was rescinded for a reason, and I want you to consider some of those reasons. I wasn't prepared to speak today, so I'm just shooting off the top of my head. No one should ever be afraid to call for services, ever. And I understand you want to hold people accountable, and I understand. And I understand that some properties tend to have more calls than others, and they are nuisance properties. But I want you to think about the domestic violence victim who has to think twice before calling again. I want you to think about the neighbor who is calling on another neighbor, maybe to get them in trouble. I want you to think about people calling for it's life or death when people have to count how many times they've had to call for service. I'm a taxpayer, and I'm willing to send the police as many times as they need to, and I don't want someone to feel afraid to call for the fire department, the police department, or EMS for any reason. For any reason. It could be a child calling on their parents for doing something that they feel is bad outside. Again, for any reason. I'm not prepared, again, to show you more examples, but I think it's kind of logical. And at the time when we originally had it, I understood the idea behind a nuisance variance, and then when it was rescinded, I really got it. And I thought about how many people's lives could be at risk because they have to be afraid to call the police because they could get thrown out of their home. They could have their home taken from them. So I do see that 4 of you listened and were very intent, so I appreciate the 4 of you for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Tamara Davis. I'm just going to ask this question again. I've asked it before, and this is only because you brought it up regarding the the abandoned properties, which I think it's great that the homes are going to be demolished. But again, what is going to happen with that land? The positive about this, other than the houses being demolished, it's also decreasing density, which is an issue in this city. We're very dense. Houses are very close together. We had awful fire a year ago or so, and the houses were close together, basically took down a half a block. So what is going to happen with the land that these houses are on? That has to be part of your planning, that you need to start. If you're thinking about already knocking these houses down, you should already have an idea what's going to happen with that land. I know that some of the land might be already considered substandard, but however, that has not stopped any developer coming in from out of town and building something on it. So you have to think about that, please. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no one at the podium, I will close public comments, public comment portion. Let's move on to comments of commissioners. Let's start with Commissioner Taylor.
So I'm glad that the tower ladder truck is back. I'd like to thank the city of Bridgeton for lending us their ladder truck for the time that the tower was out of service. I'll be addressing that with their fire chief and public safety director. The camera project that the mayor spoke about earlier, we're looking at a phased project. Right now, there's 4 phases, depending on the finances. We're looking at where the cameras are going to go, how they're going to be placed, the type of cameras that are out there. We're looking into also some mobile camera units that can be placed at special events all through the city. I was today looking at some grants and some funding. A lot of the grants and funding are through the federal government, and I'm not sure if they have been frozen or not yet. I still have to look deeper into that. We are going to use some, I believe, some UEZ money for some of that, for at least the first phase. The phases are broken down into areas of the city, like the first phase is, I'll just give you an example, is High Street from Main to Broad, and it's including the parking lots on the backside of Bojo's, the backside of from Kavanaugh's Law to Mulberry Street, and the parking lots behind the Orr House, as well as the parking lot at Sassafras and Buck Street. Other phases after that will be including the different areas on Buck Street, further on High Street, and out Broad Street to the Memorial School. It's a good project. It's something that I was looking into before while I was campaigning. I think cameras help in a lot of ways, not just for law enforcement, but the public perception of security. The cameras that they have out there now, I've been researching some, and they are absolutely amazing, some of them. They can pick movement of a mouse running across the sidewalk. They can catch a bird. They can catch people. They can, identify and store units. Some of them require solar power, not even electric. And they're all can be monitored in one location. So that's a project that I'm really trying to get done. I'm going to be working with the Parks Department, Commissioner Ranello, for the public buildings and public areas. Obviously the mayor for UEZ and stuff like that. And we're going to be moving forward on that as quickly as we can.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ranello.
Yeah, I wanted to address some of the comments. I wanted to thank Ms. Pareca, Ms. Broomhall, and Ms. Davis, and I wanted them to know that I jotted down some of their notes. And a lot to take in there. My intention was never to speak disparagingly about the commission before that, or the commission, it does nothing to move us forward. As far as Miss Angela, Miss Angela, with the chicken, the poultry? Yeah, I'm sorry. It appears to me that I don't know if anybody told you this, but you might want to contact the zoning board for a variance. That's what it sounds like you may need to me. So if you haven't done that, I would suggest that you go to zoning and ask them how to do that. I'll gladly speak with, no, you're fine. I'll gladly speak with you after if you'd like. Okay, and that's really all I have at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ranello. Commissioner Casabun?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the library for their presentation.
Yes.
Yes, I have been to the Chat and Chew, and it is very informative, and unfortunately, it's on a Thursday, and I run bingo. So, but it is, if anybody gets a chance, it's a great way to meet your neighbors, see what's going on in your neighborhood. Historical Society, I'm glad to see, I hear good things coming out of there for that. Hope Center, they are very active, and I thank them wholeheartedly, and if anybody needs any help, just see us. If you have homeless that you want, I have bags that you can be giving out that are compliments of the Elks. Abandoned property, yes, I'm glad to see it is going, but yes, Mrs. Pareca, I agree. We need to see what we can do next with that property. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we will take all that into consideration. I want to welcome aboard Mr. Heath and Mr. Knoop. I look forward to working with both of them. And the ordinance about Ms. Brumall, yes. I think we can come up with a game plan that will benefit the city, but not deter people from like domestic violence or anything like that. We can work that out. I really do believe that. So thank you for bringing that up. And that's about it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Casabun. Vice Mayor Cott?
Once again, I think I learned more about chickens in your presentation than I have in a long time. And my daughter has some, and I don't know how she does it, but very well thought out. You take a lot of pride in what you do, and that's appreciated. I'm sure your neighbors appreciate it. And I guess they're a joy. My daughter loves them. I don't see the big thing about it, but people love them, right? Especially with the eggs that they give. So I'll be interested in learning more as we go forward with that. Asphalt, Mr. Worthington, I hope you got the comments you were looking for. I didn't know anybody here I don't think anybody here was personally not getting back to you for whatever reason, and I'm not sure, so I don't want to speak for anybody, but I hope our solicitor gave you some information to work with. The nuisance property, that is that's a touchy one, right? So we do have to be careful that we don't over police that, right? But it also, this is just my opinion, it's very valuable to have it on the records for those properties that don't involve the things you listed. But I do see your concern, right? In any law, it can be overused. So we do have to, make sure we do our due diligence in that. And I appreciate that. Because some of those things you brought up, people might not think about, right? So we do need to look at that. I love the abandoned property, right? We can't just keep putting up 4 or 5 houses on the same land. We do need a game plan. We may have that. That's more your wheelhouse. But it is very dense anyway. We can look at making that area less dense, I believe in as well. And our employees, we have great employees here. We've never knocked an employee here, nor will I ever knock an employee here. We have great employees. In fact, our administrator has been busy going to as many departments as possible. And the departments he's made it to are very excited to know they're appreciated. We are looking ways to make each department more efficient, find out what they need, find out what they don't need, find out how we can make things just run a lot better. And the departments we have been working through are cherishing it. They love the breath of fresh air. They love that people are taking that much stock into their departments. I know a lot of you guys don't see that, and I wish there was a way that we can express it more. But there's a lot of work being done behind closed doors to make the city better. And the Chat and Chew, they have probably I don't know, on a given time, 15 residents. I would love to see 100, 150 in there. You can literally just sit there and tell them about your neighborhood problems, and then they come and yell at us about them. So it's a good mouthpiece to have, because it's a Holly City Development Corporation who we have a great relationship with, and they do not mind picking up the phone call and let us know what you guys said. So I encourage you to go to those chat and choose. It's just sit, listen, and talk about your community. And a lot of times we seem like nobody's listening. That's a good spot to feel that you're being listened to. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Cott. So when speakers come to the podium, you'll see me furiously making notes. That way, if there's something I want to address, I can address it. If there's something I don't know the answer to, I can always get back to people. So if not looking up at somebody, it's because I'm taking notes so I can, either find an answer or get back to people who need an answer. Mr. Worthington, if you'd like to stop by after, I'd just like to mention a few things to you afterwards. So just to fill in some blanks there on the lawsuit. Nuisance property ordinances. Since that nuisance property ordinance was taken out, the state has come down pretty hard on cities for enforcing that. There's something called qualifying calls. So when a city looks at the nuisance property ordinance, they look at a property where there's been 10, 15 calls to a property in a certain amount of time. Those calls have to qualify. And those qualifying calls, if it's domestic violence, doesn't count. It's a very distinct list of things that can count toward that nuisance. So anybody who's calling for domestic violence or for things that don't qualify, it's a very specific list of things that qualify and things that don't. So nobody's going to be thrown out of their house for domestic violence calls. That's not what it's intended to do. That's not what you can't do that with it, because the state has come down on cities that were overusing it, and now they've kind of really narrowed down what you can and can't do with that ordinance. So there's really no fear of that happening, because you just can't. You can't use certain calls to enforce that. So it's very specific what you can use it for, and that's what we plan to follow state law, and it was put in place by the state for just that reason. I don't know when those changes were made, but I think it was a relatively recent addition to state law that protects people who don't deserve to be qualified under those calls. State of the City address. I do believe it's important as a commission to look back and see where we came from. It's not a day goes by in this building where we don't talk about the dumpster fire that was left in our laps. You don't know where you're going unless you can see where you came from. So from this point forward, we don't plan on talking about the past. We plan on talking about the future. We said that's the last time we'll talk about the past during that State of the City address. We own the future. We plan on making a future brighter for Millville, and the past is the past. We are where we are. Every day we come in here and we try to make this place a little bit better. So context is important. The city needs to know where we came from and what we're dealing with, and I think we've done a good job at outlining that. But the future is ours. We're done looking back, and now we're looking forward, and the future looks bright. And just let me make sure there's anything else. And I'll just go along with Mr. Taylor, Commissioner Taylor. Very excited about the camera project. I am very impressed with all the hard work that Commissioner Taylor is putting into this. I have pushed for the cameras to the point where I've become nearly annoying with this project, and I think Commissioner Taylor finally got the hint. I think he's doing it just to get me off of his back, but I appreciate the zeal in which Commissioner Taylor has taken this project under his wing and is really working hard for this. I think the camera project is one of the pieces that it's not going to solve all the issues, but I do think the camera portion of it is a piece to the puzzle. More policing is a piece to the puzzle. Public safety is the #1 goal of this commission right now. Every day we come into this building and we think of ways that we can increase public safety. Because without public safety, nothing we plan is even going to succeed. So every day we walk in here, we look for ways to make this city safer. Every time I wake up in the morning, I think, what can we do to make this city safer? And you think I'm kidding, or that's hyperbole. It is not. More police, that's a piece of the puzzle. We just had informal talks about that the other day. We're always brainstorming on what we can do to make this city safer. The wheels of government grind ever so slowly. And I found that out. I'm a very aggressive guy. I've owned a business for 20 years. Everything I've ever done, I've raced 100 miles an hour to get it done. And I have been mocked online because I want to do this in 30 days. I want to do this in 60 days. Even my fellow commissioners like to tease me about it. But unless you have a plan, an aggressive plan, this city, you walk in this place, it's like a black hole of time. It sucks your time away. You wind up sitting in meeting after meeting, and you walk out at the end of the day and you say to yourself, what did I do today? Because there's so many meetings. That's why I'm so aggressive in how I push, because I am not running again in 4 years. I've said that from the beginning. I said that before I was elected. I have 4 years to make a mark on this city with how we can change it, how we can improve it. And I am pushing. If I can get something done in 30 days, I'm going to push, push, push. Maybe it's going to end up being 90. But you know what? If I didn't push, maybe it would have been 6 months, or maybe it would have been a year. But I'm pushing. And these commissioners here are committed right along with me for public safety and for making the city better. And I love serving with every one of them. So no one can divide us. There's no daylight between any of us. We are all united in pushing this city forward. It's a pleasure to work with all of you. And that's all I have to say about that. And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?